Finally, after the mediocre month of June and frankly disappointing month of July, August has served us many quality comebacks. Is August a better month for comebacks than May? I don't know, still working on that.
Again for the rest of our lives.
Each comeback is ranked out of 10 in 7 categories, then ordered based on the average score. A carry next to the best song category means the title of the song has been shortened because it didn't fit on the screen. If I've reviewed an artist's previous comeback, it will show if the scores have increased or decreased in each category. So, let's get into it. Not good, get this out of my sight. Annoying as anything, nothing flows well, and I don't like the direction Demian's going with his music. Not my style, and the only song of his I properly enjoyed was his debut, and even then, that song wasn't all that. For a lack of better words, shit. When I saw it was a digital song, I actually got a bit frustrated. Cherry Billet needs more tracks if FNC wants them to succeed. Anyway, this is their weakest title track by far. The music video is cringy, as is the song. And I know there's a controversy with the song and video, and even if I don't know all the facts, I do think it's pretty insensitive. I can see the appeal of the song, but it's just a bit unnecessarily messy. Not that it's disgustingly unbearable, because the production's pretty good for a small company. I feel like listening to this over and over would make me feel sick just because of the intensity of it. Oh well. Oh boys, what is this? It's a mess and not a good one. The song doesn't give the listener a single break, and in a very intense track, that pause is desperately needed. However, I was on the verge of loving and hating it, but the dance break pushed me over the edge. I can't stand the noise in this song, which is a shame because it's salvageable. I'm really quite very upset that the music video intro was just the instrumental because it proves the song could have been better. It honestly sounds better than the song, and the camera work during it was so much better than the rest. The title is boring and the dance isn't anything worth looking at. I'd recommend taking a nap instead of listening, but you do you. So, SM gathered the producers for Monster, Turn Back Time, Punch, and Kick It before telling them to make a song. This is the result. I think I'd enjoy this song a lot more if it wasn't for that messy chorus, because I actually really like the rest. But, as always, the video is great and Mark needs a break. For a slow song, it's okay. I don't overly enjoy it, but I don't hate it either. The title track is quite obviously aimed more at the Korean market than the Western market, so I'm not in a position to speak on how well it would perform. Nonetheless, the album is okay to listen to. That change of pace in the final chorus should have kept going to the end of the song, and I'm so mad it didn't. It would have worked so well as a conclusion to the song, but unfortunately we have to live with what we got. The album wasn't outstanding either, and the boys barely existed this comeback. My expectations for Card are never high, no offense, but this really wasn't great.
I'm so blessed.
With a name like Miso, I expected a ballad. Would I have preferred a slow song over this? Maybe, but I pretty much couldn't stand the song until the dance practice video came out. This is a performance song, and I'd compare it to Luna's favourite, not at all in the styles, but in the way that they both sound better when watching the dances.
I can't take it no more.
It's not the best example of this concept. Like, it's just there, existing. The chorus is awkward and doesn't fit all too well, and frankly, there's not an awful lot here to talk about. No one noticed it came out, and everyone will forget about it in an hour. This is a B-side, at best a promotional song, but definitely not a title.
Baby, want you to stay with me.
Bored. The song sounds better to me on 1.5 times speed, and that might just be because it's over faster. Day6 rarely disappoint, but I can't be overly mad since this isn't a group comeback. If it was, I'd be severely disappointed and underwhelmed. But a new unit means a different sound, so I'm dealing with it. I'm getting strong Valkyrie by ONEUS vibes in the music video. Other than that, the video was average and didn't add an awful lot to the song. The song itself feels slightly awkward, but not when you watch the boys dancing to it. Donkeys really are outstanding performers. Their energy and presence were actually better than I expected, and I might watch some stages just for that.
Attention please. Please, please, please.
This sounds like a broken computer in a decent way. Yeah, it's pretty overpowering, and I don't think many people would be able to sit through this on constant repeat. However, I do believe that they have pretty good vocalists and rappers.
Take me your island.
So the bridge is usually more relaxed than the rest of the song, but this one pretty much brings the song to a halt. Apart from that, I don't have any overwhelming problems with it. It's a bit generic, but that's fine. I typically enjoy this sound, and while it's not my favourite song with this style, it's quite decent.
Baby, I would go to war for you.
I'm confused about why it was in English. I don't understand who made that decision. Moving on from that though, the video was boring, the song was average, and I wanted some high notes at the end, but I'll wait for his debut before judging. Also, his fandom name is Weenie. Who authorized that? Please stop. The lights in the background during the nighttime dance scenes look horrible and create so many lens flares. Other than that, the video's decent and the song complements it quite well. Though I do have to say, when the video started, I did not expect the track to sound like it did. Regardless, a pretty badass song to listen to during a car chase. So Maka Paka has debuted with Bunny Power, and well, it's enjoyable. The song is quite high, I think, which can make it sound awkward, but you know me, I'm not too fast. My hope for these girls is that they should get the opportunity to go far, because I can see an appeal for this style of music. JYP O-Bar is back with another song, this time with Sunmi. I don't like this sound, and I'm sorry, O-Bar. My ears were bleeding at the end of the song, but at least it's catchy. At least I don't have to put myself through listening to an album. Don't think I hate it, which is very weird. I should hate it with my entire being, but I really don't. Anyway, the video's cute, and the bouncy nature of the songs adds to the playful energy so much. If this is what calling an ambulance sounds like, I might try it. There were a lot of flashing lights in the video, which was basically a performance video. I enjoyed the primary colour scheme being blue and red, very fitting, and I think everything about this comeback is better than Angel, apart from the video, even though it says it's equal.
No, sorry, I'm a bad girl, crazy.
This was unexpected, really. I feel like Billie Eilish could release this as a brighter song of hers and people would go off on Twitter. I'm not exactly a fan of Billie's music, but this is that kind of brightness I think her music lacks, and I enjoy that brightness. Museum's feature wasn't that terrible, though the transition from him back into Jenior was weird.
I can't stop thinking about you.
I mean, it's intense alright. Woojin's feature was implemented well, and I liked how he was actually in the video. It makes it feel more tied together when the featured artist appears in the video. He seems to be getting quite a bit of attention already, so I hope his music gets better since I know it has the potential to. It honestly lacks a certain amount of spice, or juice in this case, to make it very special. I liked Rocket Punch's previous title tracks, so this is a bit of a disappointment. It's not bad, but it gets very stale very quickly. However, it got stuck in my head, though I hadn't listened to it in over 2 weeks, so make of that what you will. The whole song reminds me of the final outro in Treasure's debut song. I'm not the biggest fan of the noise MCND puts out. I much prefer songs like Spring or Beautiful that they have. However, I have to give the boys and their team praise for making such an engaging song and music video. Without a doubt, this was better than Midnight Sun. I was a somewhat active listener of that song last year, and this is far better produced. From what I remember of the video, this one was also better. What's Up is the only other song on the album, and it happens to be a bop, so, you know. Overall, I think this is better than Breathless. The last chorus feels quite empty to me, but it's not unbearable. I only wish it was the usual chorus. When I finished listening for the first time, the song reminded me of the song by Midnight Kids called Last Time, which is a funny sentence. However, as a comeback, it is just very average.
Watch me while I do it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Watch me.
Club banger status. Expected literally nothing that good, but left having heard a fantastic song. The music video wasn't anything overly original, and neither were the lyrics. The only other new song on the album was Morning Call, which wasn't that great either. However, Streamline Lives. Right, so this is straight up out of High School Musical or something. Either way, I enjoy it, even if it's a little forgettable. Her voice fits very nicely with this sound, and that high note at the end was everything you could ever want. It's an impressive job for her debut. Yeah, no question, this is superior to Boom Bang. That was kind of a wank song, whereas this style actually seems to match the boys. People might say the lyrics are a bit misogynistic, but I really don't care, and as you can hear, I am of the female gender. It's just a really cool song. ONF straight up stole the Pirates of the Caribbean soundtrack and turned it into a song. Nah, no hate, I get what they were going for. Kind of. I had to look up what Scumfit was, and I'm still confused. The video was too orange and too many things were happening to keep track of it all, but it is very dynamic. I'm pretty sure this is a quarantine music video, and because of that the girls didn't get to film the video they wanted, but it's still great regardless. The song has that classic Saturday stamp on it, and it might even be their best song, I'm not sure. It took me around 3 listens to fully get used to the sound, but once I did, I liked it quite a lot.
I just wanna be a boy.
Until literally the 30th, which is 2 days before this video is uploaded, I basically hated this song. Well, the drop at least. Now I think I've heard the drop so many times I'm numb to it, and I'm here for the rest of the song. The powerhouses these boys are is insane, and I'm low-key scared for their September comeback. It's cute, but not at the same time, in that endearing way and not in the adorable way, you know what I mean? The Chanyeol feature was also well blended into the song, and I enjoy his verse arguably the most. I've only ever heard B from Rothy, so this was a pretty cool song from her. Solo debuts from groups are hit or miss, and this is a big hit. It's sexy, but can also be fun. The shirtlessness and cowboy outfits in the video were unneeded, but I'm over it. Though that black baggy outfit makes him look like a literal trash bag. The album was also very pleasant to listen to, and Sungwoo was just flexing his vocals on us for 20 minutes straight. The ending pose is a literal dumpster fire. Chaeryeong and Leah legitimately look like they're on the toilet. Other than that, the album is their best yet, but it's their worst title track as well. It took me 2 listens to download Dalla Dalla, maybe 4 for Icy and 1 for Wannabe. I've heard Not Shy over 50 times and I still haven't downloaded it. Don't kill me Mitzies, because I do actually like the song. This comeback as a whole is very enjoyable, with a lot of different parts and pieces to it. It kind of annoys me how Yuhyun doesn't join in the choreography as soon as the chorus starts, but I have to live with it. Gaia known this era so much and everything was so good. More details in my 3-way review linked in the iCard. Shameless plug, I know. Broke the rules, broke no rules, and it was a painful mess to listen to. This is so much better and so much more engaging. It's subdued and most definitely a change in style for Gravity. This style of song is usually a hit or miss. Thankfully this hit the right spot, as did the outstanding album. Rest in Pieces won the 9. I didn't actually know they were a temporary group until this comeback, but it just makes the lyrics so much more meaningful. I never stan them, but I'm quite sad it's the end since their music is so good. The other songs on the album were just 1 the 9 versions of songs, but I thought I'd include them anyway. Regardless, I wish all the boys the best of luck going forward.
Oh, baby, don't wait.
Daniel copyright claimed my last ranking, so please be nice because I put you this high. This song, it's a bop and a half, even if it took me all month to realise that. The music video is a downgrade from Waves, but the album is stunningly stunning. Because of that album, I like Waves a lot more, and I desperately want to get some sort of content for Flash. If it was up to me, this song would be way higher, but alas, it's not.
달리는 차 안에 우린 아무 말 없네.
I'm not usually into retro-y songs, but this is amazing. The video is so adorable and the track is so catchy. I would strongly recommend listening to this and Be in Love by ITZY one after the other because that's an experience. I literally start randomly singing this around my house, so there you go.
Every night, every night, every time, every sign.
From the video, I thought Shua was literally given scraps while everyone else was pretty equally distributed. I guess I was right. From the teaser photos, I really hoped it would be Mion's era, and it was for me. The song is catchy, fun, and infinitely better than Oh My God. Never really liked that comeback.
Coming at you live, real wild. Here to light it up, set the world on fire.
We're not here to talk about the practicality of the lyric video, just the song. KDA only have bobs. I said it. Popstars was literally outstanding, and The Baddest is hardly anything disappointing. Can't wait for that EP, honestly. And if you guys tell me this isn't K-pop, I'm not listening because this is my video. Call it a flex. One of my favourite groups, and they literally debuted in May. I was terrified the flowering had set my expectations for jogging too high, but it didn't. And if it did, it just proves that Lucy serves every time. And this is like the third worst song on the album. How are you sleeping on talent? Like, seriously.
Looks so good, yeah, looks so sweet. Looking good enough to eat.
If I could change my How You Like That ratings, I would, but we move. A lot of people seem to have problems with the lyrics, but I really enjoyed them. I appreciate them after checking them out on Genius, so suck on my Mona Lisa kinda Lisa. Jisoo and Rosie barely got lines despite Jisoo's English being clear and Rosie being fluent. Still, support Cell, thank you haters. Literal goddess Sejong is back and with another bop. Plant as a title track was incredibly uninteresting for me, though the B-sides slapped. This is the sort of sound I love Sejong doing and it fits her voice so nicely. Those whale noises are so cute and are really such a great addition to the song. Stan Sejong. The most fun comeback this year, honestly. I cried laughing when I was watching the video and the song is such an experience. I would have loved if an album came with this, but it doesn't. Will this dethrone make this as the best One Team song? Don't think so, but this is probably my favourite video this year. Throw Can't You See Me in there too. The song might be a bit weird, but it works, not to mention I was actually invested in the music video storyline and was eager to look up the lyrics. I was watching the dance and I was literally speechless the whole time, literally so amazing. And slightly unrelated, I kind of want to see TXT do a concept like this since it's very story driven and I think they'd do well, not the One Us didn't do exceptionally. Let's enjoy this beauty, shall we? I'm funny, subscribe. Anyway, I'm very into these soft yet meaningful songs and this is another to add to the list. The music video is cheap, but still quite cute and unique. I loved how they acted as if they were all sat next to each other and not just on Skype. I don't know how else to describe it. The lyrics are also just charming, especially the second verse.
We were just two kids, too young and dumb, 어리고 멍청한.
Now, from what I've heard of Taemin's music, I don't like a lot of it, but I couldn't help but love this the second I heard it. Then I saw the lyrics. I was touched, which doesn't happen often, and the music video suddenly made sense. It's perfect and without a doubt the most all-rounded comeback this year. I want to learn this dance. Please, release a full dance SM, I beg. And we're done. How many comebacks? 49? And I have to finish editing this because I left it all to the last minute? Perfect. That being said, I do hope you enjoyed. Check out my other monthly reviews and I hope you have a great day.